You're on record as talking about in relation to this something about investing £80,000 and getting back 20 million in value.
Yeah, that's right, and that's either in protecting the elements of your business or growing your business. When demand is strong, you need to make sure that you can actually take advantage of that demand and outperform the marketplace. The utilisation of what we do with Quantum significantly increases our chance of success. When times are harder and demand is down and competition are employing a number of elements to try to win that share, a lot of it will be through incentivisation and price, then what we do helps protect what we have. Because if you've actually got your points of differentiation and proven your value, customers will, the professional procurement finance people, will understand the cost of change and will know that to do so actually may have a long-term detrimental impact. So there's no question in my mind that, and I mentioned that £80,000 just as a minimum investment, to make it, in a year in people. It's probably more than that. But also the value of what you get is also probably more than 20 million. I'd call Quantum and I'd ask them to come in and say, I really need to perform an assessment. I need to perform an assessment of how it is that we are actually perceived and performing in the marketplace, given the size of the challenge that we now face, having lost a significant proportion of our existing customer base. We need to go back into a very rapid acquisitional mode. What that audit, as I called it at the time, because I used that word internally, because I needed to demonstrate something to the board, who would ultimately, hopefully, sanction what I was going to do. What it showed was that, and there's a favourite term of mine, is that we had enthusiastic amateurs. We had people who would be very busy, but not very busy doing the right things. We didn't have any real processes in place. It was personality selling. We were too dependent upon single relationships. And quite frankly, it was, as it had been perceived by the guy that hired me, not what we needed to do moving forward. We needed to find a way. I needed to be able to turn around and say, we as a business have spent a significant amount of money in a new upper class product. How can I be absolutely certain that we get that investment back and that we go into profitability? In order to do that, we needed to fundamentally change the way in which we approached our selling. And I think the most important thing was making sure that people did not consider this to be a training program. I think that's a mistake lots of people make, in that they hire organisations to perform training. And the training is something which has a very short-term impact, because it's not followed up on for a variety of reasons, because usually the utilisation is discretionary, and it's regarded as depending upon your capability to take in information and your desire to want to use it. What we'd embarked upon here was behavioural change. And behavioural change in the way in which we would more consistently operate as a sales team and aspire to be sales professionals.
And you made this clear?
Absolutely.
This wasn't training, this was behavioural change?
Absolutely right. Equivocal in my view that what we do significantly increases your chances of success, and it protects and it grows your revenue. Now, whilst that may be easy for me to say because I made the investment in both the company's money and in our time, I know that because other people tell me. I know that because the customers tell me. I know that because the headhunters tell me. And I think one of the most pleasing aspects of the week at one of our awards evenings was that the travel trade were telling the chairman that we were different and that we were better than others.
Quantum. Could you have achieved what you and your team have achieved without Quantum?
No, just no way at all. For a variety, you have to have the basics. And there are lots of, and I think this is again a point of differentiation. We as a business, Virgin Atlantic and the Virgin brand, amongst its DNA is differentiation. Differentiation is product and service to its customers. And that's where you create your competitive advantage, and that's where you make your money. It's a question of how big is that differentiation and how much profit can you get from that differentiation. What I wanted to do was create a differentiated sales force. So that people looked at Virgin Atlantic and said, they're different from the rest. So I've done that. But I knew I couldn't have done that on my own. A, because I didn't have the knowledge and skill. I didn't have the time and I didn't have the resource. So absolutely not. We would not have achieved, we wouldn't be where we are without working with Quantum.